Wow. I think I've frozen up. There we go. It's things like that that really make me envious of the UK's style of seasons or series. That was rough. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, a show that started out so strong just completely took a huge nosedive and just shit the bed with thin characters, two-dimensional plots, a bunch of useless information, with just enough backstory to make you feel like it's supposed to have a point to it. The entire episode 4 was just nonsense until like the last little nugget. The cop character is some of the harshest, worst acting I've ever seen in my life. Some of the dialogue between the three of them when they're so forget spoilers. I'm gonna probably spoil shit. Just deal with it. When they go to try to capture Kilgrave, is the worst. When they have their little headsets in, and it's brutal. And the fight scenes are just so brutally shot. I don't know what the hell happened between the first 3 episodes and these 3 episodes. I didn't pay close enough attention to the names of who was doing what. As far as I'm aware, it's still the same creative people. It's still the same directors. It's still the same writers. It's brutal. It is brutal. Those 3 episodes were like excruciating. There was moments in him like I'm okay with turning the tables on gender roles and things like that, completely fine. But when the turning of those tables on gender roles make the characters within the show establish a certain personality and then completely reverse on that personality that's already been set into motion, I've got a huge problem with it. Luke and Jessica in bed together in that last episode, episode 6, where he kind of, if you gotta go, you gotta go. And he kind of leans back and has something he wants to talk to her about. And there was just that whole piece was so out of character. And then for him to jump back into character and, oh my God, just making things seem so dramatically important and overstating the fact that they're supposed to be when they're absolutely not. The Purple Man now in her old house. Wow, big reveal, big dramatic music pulling back to see the signs. Like, oh, give me a fucking break. It's brutal. It was brutal. Those were really tough episodes to sit through. The problem is now I'm so invested in seeing the 6. I've got to follow it out to the end. I don't have a choice now, which sucks because it was a series I wasn't interested in whatsoever. Watched the first episode, enjoyed it. Second and third episodes, loved it. Loved the first 3. I'm invested. Now I'm invested in this because now I've watched 6 of the 13. Why can't we have tighter writing? Why do we have to have 13 episodes where people feel the need to fill in these episodes with just drivel to like pass as a passable story? Why do we have to have these? It was one of the same things I had with Daredevil. There was a whole bunch of episodes where he just sulked and whined and bitched and fucking moaned episode after episode. It was draining because it wasn't done. I don't know, it was too drawn out. There wasn't enough brevity. There wasn't enough direct writing. There wasn't enough solid writing, period. And that's what this seems to be suffering with. That there's a 13 episode thing and you have to fill 13 episodes. Screw 13 episodes. What's wrong with 6 episodes? What's wrong with 8 episodes? Why can't we adapt that formula? Why can't we, especially if it's something on Netflix, which is its own thing now, you're doing a series for Netflix, it all gets released at once. Why not tighten everything up? Why still go, if you're gonna go outside of the formula of doing a weekly drama where you're gonna put everything out at once, why not break those chains even further? Why not just do 6 episode series or an 8-episode season? Why not just go for it and really have somebody edit your shit and have some tight writing? And seriously, that I can't even describe how painful it is watching that blonde-haired fucking cop try to act his way through this show. It's really painful. I'm sure he's a great actor and whatever else he's been in, but I don't know if it's the lines, if it's the direction that they're getting, but a lot of and even from some of the stronger actors, they have these moments where it's this dialogue nobody can do anything with, and probably the direction they're getting given nobody can do anything with. So maybe they're trying their best. It's coming across so flat and so dull that I don't know if anybody could save it. It's brutal. Like I said, I'm invested now, though. I've watched 6 of these freaking episodes. There's 13. Yeah, I mean, that's I don't really know what else to say. Yeah, I mean, let me know your thoughts if you're watching it, but I'm awfully disappointed, and now I'm back to just really dreading what they're going to do with Luke Cage and what they're going to do with Iron Fist and what they're going to do to the Defenders and all that. Like, they have these glimmers of brilliance and hope, and then it's just dashed away by just subpar amateur writing, film school grade writing and film school grade directing and action sequences. The fight in the pot plant warehouse was brutal. Even a lot of Jessica's fights now where she just keeps throwing the guy the same way, it's brutal because it's shot so poorly now. I don't know what they're missing. They're trying to make these bigger action sequences as a display of her power, I guess, as a display of things, and it's just falling so flat. It's not impactful. I don't feel the punches. Even when she was throwing around the junkie in the one scene, you could see him ramping up his liftoff himself. There was nothing coming from her whatsoever. It was purely him, and it's the way that it was edited. You've taken this whole segment where you do the throw and you do the land, knowing full well that first throw you're not going to use. You cut in just after the throw as he's kind of launching himself. They don't even understand the basics of editing. That trim that shit. They didn't trim it down. So you see her give this half-ass throw and him doing this liftoff. Oh my God. It's brutal, people. It's brutal. That's all I got to say.